and crossed every T. David, thank you. Well, adjusting to the NBA game for this latest class of rookies, Doris. Always growing pains, a feeling out process. It's always interesting to watch that being put together.
There are, Kev. There always seem to be a couple of welcome to the NBA moments as a rookie. Certainly you might take your lumps here and there, but this is a talented young group. Can't wait to see what they do.
I can't either. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Walker and Smart, the guards. Brown, the small forward, with Tatum holding down the 4 spot. And it's Tice in at the center. And for Sacramento, Joseph and Hield make up the backcourt. Bialica is out there with Holmes, and it's Barnes in at the 3 spot. And taken away by Brown. To the paint, here's Walker. Rebound by the Kings. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, every time out, it's a learning experience to some degree, but that's not what they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Greg, it hurts a little more when you play well and fail to close out a game. That was one they should have won.
Ball's knocked loose. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Tatum leading the charge.
Well, do not let Jason Tatum get space in transition. He will make you pay.
About a minute played so far here in the first. And the pass to Barnes. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Daniel Tice. That's his first foul. Joseph, the pass to Barnes. That's a 2 from Hield. And good. Got the English that time as it falls.
Yeah, not just a finisher now. Barnes always willing to make the extra pass.
Walker, the pass to Tice. Back to Walker. Joseph with the rebound.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
Hield outside. Misses the 3. For Boston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Tatum's shot is off. Joseph dishes to Hield. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
And his defense, so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Here's Tice. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Brown against Barnes. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Kev, how about the strength on the finish? Jaylen Brown showing real muscle.
The Celtics shooting their first foul shot of the game.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Free throw good from Brown.
And the Celtics last season mourning the passing of the great John Havlicek.
No, Greg, he spent his entire career with the Celtics. He won 8 titles along the way. He was known as one of the great competitors and a class individual. His legacy undoubtedly will live on.
4 on the clock. Elbow shot is on the way. Off the left rim and out.
And his lateral quickness really allows him to stay in front of the shooter there and challenge the shot.
And this is the key. In this game, you've got to be able to move your feet to be successful on the defensive end. Yet another miss. Just 1 for 5. Not exactly an ideal start.
Tatum's shot is off. The Kings trail by 3. Pass to Barnes. Good work defensively by Smart. And it's Smart with the ball for the Celtics. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
Yeah, in that game, I thought they took advantage of some sloppy play, but give them credit. They turned mistakes into points.
Well, you have to capitalize when your opponent has miscues, Greg, and give this team some credit. Every time that opponent turned it over, they capitalized.
to the inside. Bielitsa, and the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Boy, when he's this deep, it's going to be tough to stop him, especially with a smaller defender.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
That free throw good from Bielitsa. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, so the Celtics called timeout, their first. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Sacramento.
Yeah, and they swept this matchup the 2 times they played last year. They held the advantage on paper and on the court.
Well, a year ago, there was a big gap in talent between the two teams. But changes are always made, and we'll see how they match up this time around.
And here's a look at some of the most multi-dimensional players in the NBA. Not only can they pass, they can fill it up. The highest scoring point guards this season. The 4th spot held by Kemba Walker.
And this is a group of guys who have that uncanny knack to simply score and put points up while they find ways to get the rest of the team involved. Really the complete package.
You know, they truly are. Whether it's one-on-one situations or staying within that team framework, that is a gifted group offensively. And, you know, you said it. Their ability to put up big points from the one guard spot is what really sets them apart. The 29th pick in 2011. Boy, Corey Joseph, what an energetic, committed defender. And the thing I love, he can guard either backcourt spot.
And part of the wave of Canadian basketball talent, Corey Joseph played on the Raptors, the Spurs, and the Pacers.
And at each stop, Kevin, he has played winning basketball. He understands he's got to be stout on the defensive end, and if his shot presents itself, he is capable of knocking it down.
And he can't get the first one.
Well, what I like about Corey Joseph is this guy will give you a little bit of everything. Perhaps most importantly, guys, you know he's going to play consistently good defense.
So he comes up empty, missing both. And for the Celtics, they're shooting in the early going here. Pretty dreadful, 22%. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
You ever notice the physicality? That's an aspect of Marcus Smart's game. He just powers through the defense. Sensational shooting.
Very rare for players to be elite defenders from the moment they set foot in the NBA, but that was the case for Marcus Smart. A tremendous physicality to go with a pit bull disposition has made him downright scary at times at that end of the floor.
And that one falls for Smart. You know, Greg, defense forgiven for Marcus Smart. The growth necessary for him has been at the offensive end.
And now, finally making progress as a three-point shooter. Had already made strides with his passing. He's becoming quite the two-way player.
Sacramento gets it back, and it's in there.
Just talk about staying under control. Corey Joseph, a seasoned veteran who understands how to score against a tough defender.
And Walker kicks to Brown. Doesn't go for him. Good D by Ariza. Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And it's blocked. And Walker with a clear path to the hoop. And that one is good.
And how about that exhale there? Finally gets one to fall through 6 attempts.
Walker against Joseph. Holmes. And Tatum pulls it down.
Got to credit the defense. They found a way to stop him, and that's never an easy task.
Brown. Good.
Well, you can tell there's a team-first mentality with the young gun Jason Tatum working to find the open teammate. Nice.
Here's Joseph, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Ariza against Brown. Pass to Hield. Lock at 6. Releases. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Celtics leading by 3. Smart passes to Tatum. Here's Tice. Pass to Brown. Offline with his 3.
Terrific closeout there to challenge the 3.
It may be the hardest thing to do in basketball. Close under control, and he's more than up to the task.
And slam dunk by Smart.
Well, that's about anticipation. Marcus Smart jumps out, gets into the speed and transition game, and leaves no doubt.
The 3 from Joseph. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
The pass to Holmes. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. Who are some of the up-and-coming shooting guards in the league that you have noticed have got a very high ceiling?
Well, I'm going to mention 2 guys who I think could be considered combo guards who can play 1 or 2, and who I think their organizations are still trying to figure out their best position. But 2 of the most dominant young guards in the league who are going to be a problem for over a decade, Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. Both guys can create their own shot. Both can get off the dribble drive. Both could light you up for over 50 a night. Devin and Donovan, 2 names to keep an eye on.
And some changes here for the Kings. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Bjelica. Bogdan Bogdanovic comes in for Hield, and Farrell subbed in for Joseph. The Celtics also changing it up. Williams, he's checked in for Daniel Tice. Williams comes in for Brown. And it's Edwards in for Walker. He's off on the second.
And the Celtics, Brad Stevens, one of the youngest head coaches in the league, and also one of the more respected.
And Greg, I was surprised that he didn't get any Coach of the Year votes 2 seasons ago. Think about it. The Celtics overcame injury to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Last season, he admitted his most trying in the 12 years as a coach. Boy, he is looking to get them back on track.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Ariza outside. The 3 ball hits the 3-point bomb.
You know this. You better honor Trevor Ariza if he's beyond the arc. He is more than happy to fire away.
Edwards passes to Tatum. Now here's Williams. Passes it to Edwards. 6 to shoot. To the middle. Here's Tatum. And he can't bank that one in.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now, because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
Dedmon passes to Holmes. A miss that time. Would have put him up.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Tatum deciding where to go with it. It's good from the top of the key.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Here's Farrell. No points in the game yet for him. Ariza outside.
Well, just a little too physical out there right now. That's already his 2nd foul. You know, you look at what a guy like Trevor Ariza can provide on the backside of his career. The numbers don't tell the story. This guy is a consummate professional.
First one falls for him. And Doris, you know, with Ariza, at this point, it's really about the intangibles.
Well, Kevin, you know that Ariza's going to bring it on the defensive end night in and night out. He's going to make his open shots, but the leadership, the energy, he is a former champion, and you love having that on your side.
Harry Giles is checked in for Rashawn Holmes. Ariza hits them both.
Well, this guy was the 43rd pick in the 2004 NBA draft. And what a career for Trevor Ariza. An NBA championship with the Lakers 5 years after he's drafted.
Smart misses. The Kings trailing. Here's Farrell. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And with the pause in the action, let's look at the numbers for Marcus Smart. Averaging 12 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. You know, you look at the numbers and you think that this is great, but we know that he's capable of even bigger production.
You know, the numbers look okay, but the eye test tells us unequivocally he is capable of more. That is the sign of a star right there.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
Well, how about the former undrafted, small-framed point guard, Yogi Ferrell, carving his place in this league with quickness, confidence, and an ability to shoot the ball. What a great story.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Pass to Canner. Now Williams. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Smart, wide open. He fires. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Back to Bogdanovich. Pass to Dedmon. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Bogdanovich for 3. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Here's Smart. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Farrell gets to Ariza. It's Bogdanovich on the wing. Guarded by Smart. Smart against Bogdanovich. Good work defensively by Smart.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
Cantor, the pass to Edwards. Dishes it to Williams. He kicks it to Smart. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
What I love about Marcus Smart is every single trip up the floor, this guy is going to be in your grill, and it cannot be a pleasant experience to have this man guarding you.
And that defensive pressure of Smart will wear you down, Doris, over the course of a game.
Kevin, it takes its toll because his combination of athleticism, strength, and motor makes him an absolute monster on the defensive end.
2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
Boy, I just love how Marcus Smart plays the game of basketball. He's aggressive, he's intelligent, and he doesn't mind getting under your skin.
And so, Smart nails both of them. The Kings trail by 3. Farrell passes to Giles. Bogdanovich against Smart. Ariza outside. 6 on the shot clock. The Kings need to get off a shot here. And it's Bogdanovich again missing. Boston leading by 3. And here's Edwards. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Back to Smart. It's hauled in by the Kings. Ariza passes to Farrell. Good on the shot.
What about the fearlessness of Farrell? Yogi taking it amongst the trees and delivering.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And just a fantastic season a year ago in terms of his free throw shooting, 90% from the line. And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
29 seconds left to play in the first quarter. To the paint. Here's Smart. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, what phenomenal work deep inside the post. Smart, willing, and able to get himself to the line.
The Celtics shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one. He hits the second from the line. We've got 22 seconds left here in the first quarter. Bogdanovich with it. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Lakers. Out to the wing. Farrell for 3. He can't get that one. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Celtics lead by 1. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And the Celtics guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
Well, credit their anticipation skills on the defensive end. They forced a number of turnovers.
And a few of those led to quick scores at the other end. Really active first quarter for them.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor for Boston. Williams is out there with Enes Kanter. Then there's Smart. Then it's Williams. And it's Edwards in at point guard. Clock is at 3. Here's Kanter. It's hauled in by the Kings. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Farrell passes to Giles. A 3 from Bogdanovich. The shot will not fall. Good work defensively by Smart. And there's the pass to Edwards. And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. No good on the shot. And the Kings going the other way now. Here's Barnes. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, if you were going to lose Kyrie Irving, why not replace him with Kemba Walker? The Celtics brought Walker in from Charlotte last offseason, and it looks like he's going to pay off big time in Boston. The Celtics didn't exactly do what they wanted the last couple of years, but with Walker and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and a hopefully healthy Gordon Hayward, Celtics aren't exactly going to be in the lottery anytime soon either.
Well, you're right on that, D.A. They're still stocked, and we love Walker. He'll, I think, mix well with this team. Thank you. Buddy Hield, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. Then for the Celtics, Brown comes in for Smart, and Walker subbed in for Edwards. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. And that one's good, Barnes.
This is a guy who can really hit from just about anywhere on the floor. That's a pretty jumper. Go ahead, Harrison Barnes.
Passes to Kanter. He dishes it to Brown. The three. Rebound by the Kings.
Well, they are daring him to miss, and he obliges.
Farrell looking around. Giles in the corner. From outside, off the mark. And so it's Walker with it, who brings it up for Boston. Still looking for their first basket since the first quarter. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Well, one of the bigger names in free agency this past summer was Kemba Walker. A lot of teams, Greg, looking at him.
And rightfully so, Kevin. With Kemba, a point guard who is in his prime, he's an impact player who can hit big shots and is one of the more underrated stars in our league.
Shooting two.
Free throw good from Walker. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Joseph against Walker. Fires from the line. Misses off the left iron.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
And not known as a rim rattler. I mean, he's usually kind of rooted to the floor, not elevating to the rim.
Well, Greg, with his length, he doesn't have to go far to get to that rim.
Yeah, he took it up with a ton of forcefulness that time, used his height to full advantage.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game. Adding to their advantage, trying to find a way to blow this one open.
And Greg, one of the things they're doing is identifying favorable matchups and then going at them.
Elisa finds Barnes over Williams. No good, unable to end this run.
Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
And good that time. And now a 9-point Celtic lead.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
So the Kings call timeout, their first. One of the bigger names on the free agent market this past year, Kemba Walker.
And it didn't take long for him to land with Boston to replace Kyrie. Hornets made an attempt but offered well below Kemba's value. I think Kemba's going to be a great fit in Boston.
Rashawn Holmes, he's checked in for the Kings. Boston also with the sub. Tatum, he's checked in for Williams. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at Boston. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum.
And you know, for the Celtics, they've been a revelation here in the early going. Some people, including myself, had doubts about their plan coming into the season, but no question it's working.
You know what, Greg? It just looks to me like they're having fun out there, and sometimes that's contagious. It drives success. This is beautiful. This guy has not been a factor at all in this quarter, and it has hurt the team.
Tatum. And he can extend the lead to double digits. The Kings trail by 9. Barnes passes to Hield. Back to Barnes. On the wing, Hield. 5 on the clock. To end the cold streak. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
Free throw good from Bielitsa. Boston with the ball. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Suns in Phoenix. And that game will be game 3 of 5 away from home. Shots good by Walker.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
The Kings trail by 8. Now here's Hield. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
Barnes can't get it to go.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Well, not at the offensive end, certainly. He cannot buy a bucket right now. Well, they're calling his number time and time again, and he is delivering.
Walker against Joseph. Pass to Hield. Shoots over Brown. Rebounded by the Celtics. Tice has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Fires from 14. And again, it's Boston converting.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
And so it's Joseph with it. He'll bring it up for the Kings. It's a 13-point game. Hield against Brown. Now here's Hield. Not a lot of room. 5 to shoot. From deep three-point range. No good on that one. Some solid defense from Brown. The rebound by Hield.
All alone from mid-range. They know he won't miss many of those.
Brown against Joseph. Now here's Holmes. Defense is right there. Barnes outside. Shot to stop the run. Connects from three-point range. Barnes has got 5 points so far.
With that deep stroke, I like Barnes' ability to switch between the 3 and 4 spots. Two distinct things in terms of spacing on the floor and the requirements of the jobs.
Brown with the bounce pass. Over Hield. Rebound by Bielitsa.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Hield finds Joseph. Now here's Holmes. Guarded by Walker. Here's Holmes. 17 points for him last game against the Lakers.
And we have to mention his rebound. It wasn't all about the offense. He battled his tail off down low.
And that one drops. And that's now 7 points for Jaylen Brown.
Well, this is where the powerful frame and explosive athleticism of Jaylen Brown becomes a problem for the opponent. Nicely done.
Pass to Hield. Shoots over Brown, and it's blocked by Brown. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Tatum trying to break free. That one's in, only his 4th make against 9 total shots.
Then, Kevin, Jaylen Brown thrives when it comes to scoring through contact. This is a guy who is constantly looking to initiate that body contact with the defense.
Got a piece of it, and so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here. And a look now at the Celtics' upcoming schedule. On Monday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Then on Wednesday, they'll be facing Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And the matchup against the Nuggets, It's going to be an all-out battle. And you just hope they are rested and able to execute their game plan, as it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
I love when Jason Tatum is aggressive to score the basketball. He does a tremendous job keeping his focus.
Guys, you talk about players coming in and with a huge impact. Jason Tatum showed he was more than ready to be an NBA star.
Rare do you see a player as polished and as impactful as Tatum. Stepped right in to be one of the top players on a top team with Boston. Fits their system perfectly, and really the sky is the limit for that young man.
One shot.
And that one falls for Tatum. Doris, one of the biggest free agent signings in years. LeBron James going to the Lakers. What did you think of his first season with L.A.?
Well, when you're LeBron James, perhaps no athlete in the history of the NBA has borne the weight of expectation as much as LeBron. So if there's anything short of a playoff appearance, there's disappointment. But what I would say is, through Christmas Day and his first real injury that he had to endure, LeBron was playing like an MVP. We are talking about one of the greatest to ever do it. I expect them to turn things around in Lakerland this year.
I agree with you, and I agree on your prediction. That one is off.
A really solid free throw shooter. The team would like to see Barnes get to that line more often.
Williams, he's checked in for Tatum. And he sinks the second. Boston leading by 16. Now Edwards. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Brown outside. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Bogdanovich left side. Over Williams. And that one hits back iron.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Brown outside. Shot clock at 6. Here's Edwards. He can't get it to go. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. Here's Farrell. Edwards defending. Barnes outside. Shoots over Brown. Barnes can't get it to go. Boston leading by 16. .109 left in the first half of the game.
And a moment now to check out some of the numbers for Barnes. He's averaging 15 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I'll tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
Free throw good, Edwards.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for the Kings. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. We've got 1:08 left here in the second. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Farrell. Sacramento again missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And stolen by Bogdanovich. 4 on 3 as they bring it up. And Boston with the rebound. Williams has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Brown with it. He's picked up by Ariza. And Brown throws it down.
How fantastic is Jaylen Brown getting the position he wants deep inside, easily slams it home.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Bogdanovich. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
Well, that's 2 fouls on him early. He'll have to be careful not to pick up another one.
And it's Williams with the ball for the Celtics. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. And here is Brown. His last outing, we saw him pour in 22. To the left wing. Here's Edwards. And the 3 off target. Kemba Walker firing on all cylinders for Boston. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for more. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with head coach Brad Stevens. Coach, what did you think was the main edge you had?
Well, I thought defensively we were a lot better, and then that led to some offense. But obviously, we're playing a bunch of skilled guys, and we're able to spread the floor, and that's helpful.
You have to make them work at both ends. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. We saw Kemba Walker lighting it up in the first half. He ended up with 15 points and 1 rebound. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Terrific performance so far by Kemba Walker. Tremendous team leader who's become a star in this league. He could be your catalyst offensively, and he makes big shots.
Shaq, what's your take on Sacramento?
Ernie, I don't use this word a lot because, one, I can't spell it, but it was definitely a subpar effort for them on the glass. That hurt. If they're serious about cutting into this deficit, it's gut check time. Ugh. You hear that, Ernie? I'm hitting my gut. Ugh. You got to check your gut, Ernie. Ugh. Gut check time, Ernie.
And that's all we have for now.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. What a game we're seeing from Kemba Walker.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
Hield and Barnes are the 2 and the 3. Rashawn Holmes out there with Bielitsa. And it's Joseph in at the 1. And that's the group for Luke Walton as we begin the second half. The Kings trail by 20. Inside, it's Bielitsa, and it's blocked. Down low, here's Walker. Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Joseph, the pass to Holmes. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Back to Joseph. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Tice. Celtics leading by 22. It's Brown on the wing. Covered by Barnes. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And for Jaylen Brown, part of the challenge last season, especially with the return of Gordon Hayward, was meeting the high expectations, Greg, in a reduced role.
Competition for minutes, and then early on, he struggled. We all see the potential, but it's really about seizing the moment every time you're on the court.
That free throw good from Brown. And you look at Jaylen Brown, the third pick back in 2016. Doris, tantalizing strength and athleticism.
Well, the absolute definition of a perfect basketball body. Excellent first step. For him, it's all about aggressiveness, bringing those tools to bear in terms of your basketball skill.
So he makes one of two as the second one misses.
How exciting is Jaylen Brown as a basketball player? This guy is a skilled forward who loves showing off that ability to dunk the basketball.
I'll tell you, this has not been his game, and he's making it worse with shot selection like that.
Tatum, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And you look at Jason Tatum, able to play either forward position. Doris, do you think his future is at the 3 or at the 4?
I think he is interchangeable at either position because his scoring can be devastating. For Jason Tatum, it's really a matter of making sure he continues to gain strength, continue to be a force and factor on the defensive end, and probably enhance his footwork around the rim a little bit.
First free throw is good.
Well, the former number 3 pick in the 2017 draft, Jason Tatum has been nothing short of amazing as a young gun in this league. What a star on the rise.
And so Tatum nails them both. Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Joseph, the pass to Barnes. Shoots over Brown. Barnes can't get it to go.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
A nice shot by Tatum.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Barnes. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Barnes has got 8.
And they get one. Now 1 of 5 here in the third.
Feeds to Smart. The shot, no good. Good D by Heel. And Joseph kicks to Holmes. It's rebounded by Tice. Tice has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And it's denied. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Heel. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Back to Tatum. Joseph with the ball. 5 points in the game. Barnes outside. The pass to Bielitsa. Clock at 4. Back to Barnes. Releases from 15. And Boston with the rebound. Tice has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Here's Tatum. Here's Smart. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
Well, after netting one in the first half, that's the second deep ball to go down for this guy.
Joseph, the pass to Holmes. Knocked away. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Walker's running. Here's Brown. It's tipped, and he recovers it. Goes up again.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Bielitsa. Third in three-point field goal percentage. And with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands, and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And he's the type of three-point specialist that doesn't need a lot of shots to rack up points. That's why he's top 3 in percentage. That free throw good from Brown. So he gets them both. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
And you've got to be up on Hield, especially when he's beyond the arc. If not, he'll burn you.
The first free throw is good. Enes Kanter's checked in for the Celtics. And so Smart nails both of them. And it's Joseph with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Kings. Pass to Bielitsa. Now here's Barnes. 8 points for him.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Here's Tatum. They shoot again. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That's good from Tice. Both good from the line that time. Sacramento's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Joseph. He's got 5. Pass to Hield. Six to shoot. Holmes kicks to Barnes. A three-pointer off the mark.
Well, after hitting 1 triple in the first half, it's been all radio silence since.
Walker pass to Tice. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And as for last season, he was a 74% shooter at the line.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. And for Sacramento, they're shooting around 24%. Not a good showing here. Barnes outside. Clock at 6. Goes up at the stripe. Again, the miss by the Kings. On offense, here are the Celtics. They're on a 17-5 run here. And Rashawn Holmes gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
The first one falls, and the Kings making a change here. Dedmon's checked in. Boston also with the sub. Williams is checked in. And he makes both free throws. Here's Joseph. He's got 5. Knocks it loose. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Let's take a second to see the teams that have been the toughest inside this season so far. Third spot, the Celtics.
I mean, terrific rim protection. I mean, they rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Sacramento. They've had a very slow start to the season so far, down in the bottom half of the conference.
And checking out Sacramento, it's been a disastrous start to the season for them. They can't buy a win.
Now, they can't really afford to slip any farther down in the standings because, let's face it, they don't have the firepower to dig themselves out of too deep a hole once they're in it.
The feed is Smart. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. 24 points for Marcus Smart.
I'll tell you, the dynamic physicality of Marcus Smart, he has gotten a lot of opportunities.
Joseph against Walker. Barnes looking around. 6 on the shot clock. That one drops for him. Barnes has got 4 points now in the quarter.
How about that? Barnes in attack mode, big time power move through traffic.
The 7th overall pick in 2012 out of North Carolina. Harrison Barnes won a title in Golden State. Signs the big contract with Dallas, but yet to achieve the stardom that many predicted back in high school.
Inside. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Kemba Walker picks one up. Greg, you look at Harrison Barnes. What's his best role?
I mean, Kevin, he's a hard worker, able to hit the spot up 3. Defensively, his strength gives him some versatility, just a solid contributor.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Barnes. And some changes here for the Kings. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Bielitsa. Bogdanovich comes in for Buddy Hield. And Farrell subbed in for Joseph. Edwards, he's checked in for Boston. Second free throw, no good. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Here's Farrell. 5 points in the game. He can't get that one to fall. Walker with some nice D. Edwards against Bogdanovich. Kicks it to Williams. The pass to Cantor. The Celtics working the ball around now. Now Edwards. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Edwards got 4 points now in the quarter. And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Kings. Barnes outside. Sinks the triple.
Yeah, spot-up shooting, one of Barnes' really strong suits offensively.
For Boston, they've gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. Walker in the post. It's hauled in by the Kings.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Barnes passes to Farrell. Ariza outside. Outside, Bogdanovich. And another three for Sacramento.
Well, you know the unselfishness and professionalism Trevor Ariza gives you. If there's an open man, he'll find him.
Now Walker, he's got 17. Here's Edwards. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Walker against Bogdanovich. Shoots over Walker. Bogdanovich, no luck.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
Edwards passes to Williams. The shot's good.
Pretty dime there, the kind of ball movement coaches love to see.
Passes it to Barnes. And here's Bogdanovich. He's got 6. Over Edwards. And it's Bogdanovich again missing. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Walker. It's Dedmon with the rebound. Dedmon's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Barnes with it. He's got 14. Over Cantor. Rebound Boston. Cantor's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Here's Edwards. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Edwards got 6 in the quarter. Sacramento's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Dedmon dishes to Bogdanovich. 1:46 left here in the third quarter. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket.
Boy, the work ethic on the offensive glass just refuses to give up on that possession.
To the wing on the left from 20 feet out. Edwards, that's good. Edwards got 10.
You've got to have a short memory. Put a poor first half in your rear view and now make an impact.
Outside, Bogdanovich. Pass to Barnes. That ball. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovich. He's got 16.
I'll tell you, despite this guy's strong play in this period, they're still behind. Someone else has got to step up.
And here's Walker outside. That one, no good. And it's the Kings taking it the other way. Poked away and stolen by Tatum. 41 seconds left in the third quarter, and it's Boston with another.
You have to be effective from anywhere on the floor if you're going to be elite. Jason Tatum, the in-between game, that's on point too, fellas.
Here's Farrell. That shot missing. Walker with some nice D. Boston dictating the flow. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the third. Now, here's Cantor. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Tatum's shot is off. Outside, Bogdanovich. Shoots the 3. And there's Ariza. That's good on the assist from Bogdanovich. That's now 8 points for Trevor Ariza. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Boston on top, just dominating this one. Live from Golden One Center, you're watching 2K Sports. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
Boy, GA, how about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Great to have that from the shooting guard spot.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the floor for Boston, Williams is out there with Ojale. Then it's Green. Then there's Edwards. And it's Langford in at the 2. James, the pass to Swanigan. Farrell for 3. Another 3 for Sacramento.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
You know, something that Williams does so well, as soon as he has inside positioning, he just goes for the finish.
Pass to Gabriel. Here's Giles, guarded by Green. Here's Giles. Farrell for 3. It doesn't go for him. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Now the pass to Ojale. Back to Green. Doris, in 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats became the NBA's 30th team. When do you think we're going to see another team added, whether it's an expansion or even multiple expansions?
Well, let's go directly to the most important source, and that's Commissioner Adam Silver, who has said that expansion is inevitable, but right now not a huge priority. So, you know, listen, we've heard Seattle is on the short list of cities that wants to get a team, and what a great city, what a great NBA fan base. I hope someday we get back to Seattle.
So much history up there. You're correct.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And both free throws good for James. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Langford, the pass to Williams. And James picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Edwards. James with some nice D.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Here's Farrell. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Excellent D there from Williams. The Celtics have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Passes it to Ojale. Green inside the three-point line, and he drops that one in. And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Kings. James outside. Pass to Gabriel. Helps teams if they can keep the rights to their best player. We see it in other leagues. Could the franchise tag ever make its way, do you think, to the NBA?
Well, this is going to be a negotiation point between the Players Association and the league itself. And the reality is it's going to have to be negotiated. What we know unequivocally, Kevin, is that these players now in the player empowerment era have more control about what franchise they play for and how long the duration of their contract is. How this all shakes out remains to be seen, but it is a point of conversation amongst the 30 NBA teams and the league leadership. There's no question about it.
Here's Swanigan. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Pass to Edwards. Let's go. Sacramento grabs the miss.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just one pass more?
The amazing thing about Williams, yeah, he can block shots inside, but he can also block shots out on the perimeter. His ability to play in space means he's more than just a rim protector. Doesn't care where you're shooting from.
The Kings have gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Here's Farrell, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Well, you guys can see the speed of Yogi Ferrell puts the defense in a bind at times. This guy can be difficult to guard without fouling.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
There's the pass to Gabriel. Here's Giles. Shot clock at 5. He kicks to James. Here's Gabriel. Again, the miss by the Kings. Boston's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Ojale passes to Wanamaker. The rebound by Giles. Sacramento's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Swanigan, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Doris, all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be?
I have very strong feelings on this, Kevin, and for me it would be widening the floor. And the reason I say that is it feels to me in the last couple of years there are more sideline violations where teams are turning it over because they're trying to get to that corner 3, one of the most advantageous, best shots in today's game, but because that 3-point line is so close to the sideline out of bounds, we're seeing too many violations. So if I had to choose between one or the other, I would absolutely widen the floor.
Here's Wanamaker. And he lobs it up toward the rim, up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Passes it to Holmes. Back to Joseph. It's picked off. All by himself. Here's Langford. Finished off the break.
Great in transition. Langford makes himself available, and boy, he knows how to finish.
Pass to Holmes. There's the dish to Heel. It's blocked.
And looking engaged defensively, Langford showing he has what it takes to be a shot blocker.
Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. The Celtics making a switch here. Jason Tatum, he's checked in for Shemi Ojeleye. Brown comes in for Green. Smart's checked in for Langford. And it's Kemba Walker in for Brad Wanamaker.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Outside, Walker for the three. Buries it from three-point range. Walker's got 20 points.
That is how he rolls. A prolific scorer. Walker's been calling his own number tonight.
Joseph against Brown. Shot by Joseph, no good.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. And it didn't fall, but that's the kind of shot they want their offense to create.
You know, it can be frustrating when you make the right play and fail to reap the rewards. You just have to stay with it here.
And really, for a long time, the specter hanging over Buddy Hield was he's the player who was traded for DeMarcus Cousins. Hard billing to live up to, but he has made some giant leaps with his development.
Free throw drops for Hield. And Hield has slowly but surely turned himself into one of the elite shooters in the NBA.
And guys, to be as locked in as he is from deep with his height and release is deadly. He's the kind of player who gets better as his teammates get better around him, and he is just now finding his stride.
Both free throws good from Hield. Yes, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
Joseph against Walker. Pass to Gabriel. It's blocked, and that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. So both teams changing it up here. To the inside. Dedmon trying to break free. Barnes can't get it to go. And Walker's got the ball here for the Boston Celtics. And slam dunk by Tatum.
And they are very comfortable running their offense through Walker. And you can see why. Drops a sick dime right there. That pass was right on the money.
Hield against Smart. Here's Barnes. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Smart kicks to Tatum. And there's the pass to Tice. From downtown, Smart misses. Sacramento's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. That's a 2 from Barnes. That one off the back iron and out. The Celtics shooting in this game, 45%. Walker surveying the floor. It's hauled in by the Kings.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Shot by Hield, nobody around. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
But the effort's been there for him, just not getting the results.
Pass to Brown. Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have two candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable. Ultimately, I went with Giannis, and the deciding factor came down to he led his team to the best record in the league. It was a difficult vote, but ultimately it's one category which helps tilt me in one direction or another.
And I did too, and what also helped me was just the improvement defensively they had made, and I know Antetokounmpo was a very big part of it.
No, it's a great point. He was a two-way force.
A platoon swap here for Sacramento. Then for the Celtics, Ogilvy is checked in for Jason Tatum. Langford comes in for Marcus Smart. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Kemba Walker. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. And for Sacramento, they're shooting 28%, a rocky performance for them offensively. Boston dictating the flow. Pass to Ogilvy. To the right side. Pass to Wanamaker. Tice kicks to Brown. Shot clock at 6. From the arc. The rebound by Giles. Giles has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. .141 left to play here in the fourth. It's rebounded by Tice. Tice has got his 20th rebound here tonight. Saw that coming.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Boston.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for Marcus Smart.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
Farrell gets the bucket.
And you can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
No doubt. It felt like they were a little tight for much of the evening. Now they're in a better flow, but it may be too little too late.
The pass to Langford. Now Brown. The fader. Gabriel with the rebound.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Passes to Farrell, launches it, knocks down the 3 ball.
And this is the main strength of Yogi Ferrell's game, capable of burying threes in bunches.
And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.